Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second rant of Recency Bias Radio exclusively on YouTube. I am your humble host, Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game Ultra, all of the above. And I'm here to discuss some more Big Brother 19. And I got to tell y'all right now, it's time to cancel the feeds, okay? Let's stop giving these motherfuckers our money, okay? Because obviously they don't care about us, okay? In this episode, we're going to get into why I already canceled them shits. And there's a lot of people right now on Twitter that feels the exact same way as I do. So I just want to get into this, and I want to speak for all the super fans right now who are completely pissed with how this season is going on. Okay, so the first season, let's get a quick little recap to fast forward to right now. All right, so Cody, he's the first HOH, and he puts up 5 people. I believe after Megan quit, they should have just did another HOH. But Big Brother, being as cheap as they fucking are, wanting to utilize every single veto comp that they had planned, they can't do that for us. No, we're going to make Cody take the L for everybody. So Cody does all these things to protect his entire alliance. He doesn't put up any showmance as part of his alliance. All he does is put up Christmas. He tried to put up Paul. They give Paul this God mode fucking hacks ass fucking twist. So now Paul can't be put on the block at all. By the way, shout out to Dak Prescott. Paul cannot be put on the block at all. So now the game isn't fair. The game is already rigged. And that's what we're going to get into, because I feel bad because Cody was a breath of fresh air to me personally. As a viewer of the game, as a lover of the game, he was a new villain that we've never seen before in this game. He was somebody who didn't give a fuck about politics, social dynamics. He just did the fuck what he wanted to do. And to me, that's what we wanted all these years. All these years. How many times have we been on Twitter? How many times have we been on Survivor Sucks, Joker's Updates? And we said, man, we just want to see a big move happen in the Big Brother game. Why is everyone so scared to make a big move happen? Then we finally got a guy like Cody who makes big moves happen. And then y'all, what do? Y'all say he's a stupid player for playing too fast, too hard, too fast. You can't have it both ways, ladies and gentlemen. And y'all the same people right now that's acting like the feeds are great. Soon as Cody's gone, y'all gonna be the first ones complaining about the feeds being boring. Meanwhile, the true Cody fans, and I'm not even a huge fan of him as the person. I'm a fan of him as the character. As a character, the guy is perfect for this season. You knock him out this early, the game's going to be terrible. It's going to be a pagonging. You're just going to see everybody from that side of the house go one by one by one. Mark my words, the final 4 is going to be Paul, Christmas, Josh, and Raven. Why? Well, Raven was put in this game to be a mole to help Paul make it to the end anyway. She knew him pregame. Christmas, she's already exposed herself. All she wants to do is have an acting career. She doesn't care about winning this game. She already has money. She cares about doing what needs to be done to get an acting career. She wants to be the next Ronda Rousey. So from now on, I'm going to call her Christmas Rousey. Paul, come on now. He was planted on this season to win it. And then you got Josh, the most directionless, most let down, the biggest flop I have ever seen, maybe in Big Brother history. Because let's rewind to pregame. Josh was the main guy who was talking about, oh, I know business. I know how to handle people. He was talking like a guy who was planning on playing this evil dick type game. Then he unravels trying to get the golden apple, completely goes off on Megan, which completely started that whole snowball effect of her wanting to quit, even though I'm not willing to buy all the stuff that she's selling. I think she knew the writing was on the wall and she didn't want to stay in sequester for another 4 weeks to do some battle back shit she couldn't win anyway, so she just decided to leave. But that's just my opinion on it. But Josh has the heart to come at a woman like Megan. There was people coming to her defense like, hold up, this is bullying. But then when Josh is in front of a grown-ass man like Cody, he does not have the same energy. And that's the problem I have with Josh. I expected him to be a guy who would do what he did to Megan to a man. But it seems like now that Cameron's gone and no one's really going to come at Ramsey like that because he's pretty much harmless, the only men left in the game are people who are much more threatening to Josh than Josh is himself. I've seen Josh cry because Jessica said words to him. So if a woman is breaking this dude down emotionally, This guy is not who he cracked himself up to be pregame. Josh is the biggest letdown I've ever seen. And what do you guys do? Yeah, last night during the veto competition, Josh, shaking in his little boots, calls out Cody. Could have called out Cody in the half-not room, by the way. Could have called him out at any moment when Cody said, get the fuck out. No, get your stuff and get the fuck out. Cody was bitching this dude to his face while he was holding his girl, trying to caress her and keep her emotions in check. He was doing two things at once. He is so unbothered by this guy, Josh. And that's why I feel sad, because Josh is a person of color. I wanted Josh to be something. So for me to say this, especially considering the last video I've made about how straight black men don't get a chance in this game, I definitely wanted a straight person of color, male. I actually wanted him to do something. And this cat, Josh, I'm just going to call it like it is. He's a beta male, man. The dude is a straight up beta male, okay? If you got the heart, okay, if you legitimately have the heart to come at a woman a certain way, and then when a grown man is in front of you, you just fold? Bro, that says a lot about your character, fam. He's already going out of his way to say he's a mama's boy. He always talks about his sisters. And I'm starting to think he don't have no brothers. Because if you had some brothers, my nigga, you'd be tougher than that. Now, Big Brother isn't a game where you're supposed to scrap it out and shit like that. But come on, man. The more and more I watch Josh play, why does he have such a problem with Cody when Paul was the one who didn't give him the friendship bracelet and made him a pawn? So this guy put you in harm's way twice, but you got more problems with Cody, who never put you on the block once? Where'd they do that at, Josh? And see, Josh, he's such a, I'm gonna phrase my words very carefully. He's so sensitive. He's so insecure. He needs people, when he's feeling down on himself, he needs people to come and rub his back. It's going to be okay, honey. He needs that type of reinforcement, right? Cody doesn't need that shit. Cody is an alpha. There's people trying to tell me Cody ain't an alpha. Is you crazy or something? And I'm seeing people on Twitter saying a lot of reckless shit. People are accusing Jessica of being pregnant because she's throwing up and constipated. Man, y'all need to chill. Y'all need to chill. Because I have a feeling y'all only feel all this animosity towards her because she's a beautiful woman. If Jessica was ugly, y'all wouldn't even be shaming her. I've never seen women who normally are feminists shame a woman for possibly being pregnant until this season. Then they blame it on, well, she said racist things in the past. That is true. As a black man, I'm not giving her a pass for that. But at the same time, if she is pregnant, come on now. Never shame a woman for being pregnant. Like, come on now. Like, have we lost ourselves somewhere in this season? You guys are becoming what you hate the most. People claim Cody and Jessica are so terrible, but they're willing to go down to the depths of hell to duke it out with them. And then they want to prove how pure they are of heart while doing it. The entire side of the house you're rooting for is boring. The entire season right now, after Cody goes, is an entire season full of floaters. Really look at it. Lay out every name on a sheet of paper. Everybody. No one is truly aligned to a side. Everybody's just like, oh, well, we'll follow who's ever HOH for the week. That's a floater. This entire season, this is the first time I've ever seen, by the time we get to week 3, this is the first time I've ever seen an entire cast of players be floaters and not have any direction. Everybody is just following Paul, and it is so aggravating to me. Okay, I get it. The dude is immune. So the fuck what? If Cody's the target this week, keep him in the fucking game because he's the only guy with the balls to get out Paul in 2 weeks. Come on now. So you mean to tell me y'all kept Christmas to go after Cody, but you're not willing to keep Cody to go after Paul? That's where I'm coming from. Y'all not making any sense. Y'all are willing to go to bat for Christmas to keep the game full of strong players. When Cody's up, it's like, oh, well, we can lose one strong guy this week. See, do you want good feeds or not? Obviously, you don't want good feeds. And this is why I'm canceling my feeds, because this is all bullshit. You guys are habitually line stepping. 1 minute, you want to keep the strong in the game to have a great late game. The next minute, oh, well, we're okay with getting rid of strong players because we just want to see Paul succeed. Well, if that's the case, let's just fast forward to the Final Four with Raven, Paul, Christmas, Rousey, and Josh. Let's just fast forward to that Final Four and let's get to BBOTT2 because nobody's checking for this shit no more. There's tons of people that have canceled the feeds. And CBS, they're so fucking desperate right now, by the way. These motherfuckers, I canceled the feeds and they've given me an entire month free. So you mean to tell me if I didn't cancel the feeds, you would have made me spend $6 anyway. But because I canceled it, I get it for free? Isn't that weird? It just goes to show that they really want people to watch this shit. But you're going to lose viewers. You're going to lose subscribers one by one because it's going to be a pagonging. And let me get started on Raven, okay? The mole, okay? Paul's win check, or as they call it in Pokemon, his win condition. That's who Raven is, okay? Matt is playing Raven just like Natalie played James. Why aren't any of you who clown James for being thirsty saying Raven's thirsty? I'll give you the answer. Because she got y'all so good with that sympathy story. She keeps rehashing it once every 2 days. She's got y'all feeling so sorry for her that y'all don't even think she's thirsty. Oh, she's gonna die young, Dave. Let her get some dick. That's what's going on right now. You really think Matt is gonna give her the D? Come on now. Come on now. Matt is not attracted to her, man. He's playing the game, dog, and he's a nice guy. I'm not trying to say he's being like some master manipulator, but at the end of the day, he knows where the numbers are. He's not going to stray away from Raven right now. That's bad for his game. It really is, especially since Jason is an enemy of his. Ramses is an enemy of his. Really, that whole entire opposite side of the house doesn't like Matt, really, because Matt doesn't like them. So all I'm saying to you is, come on now. Why do y'all think they're eating Raven's? Man, I call her food slop. Why do y'all think they're eating her food? Because she has a disease. Every single nice thing that is done for this lady, and trust me, I have no problem with her as the person, but as a character, as a player, she's trash, man. And I seem to be the only person that's not scared to say it. She's trash. If she didn't have a disease, we'd all be saying this. But because she does, we want to give her a break for everything she does. Like, come on, man. Like, whatever happened to the Big Brother fans who would keep it 100 no matter what? What happened to that? We became so PC, so fucking politically correct that we're scared to voice our opinions on shit until we have a majority of people agree. Then we all pounce like y'all are doing with Jessica and Cody right now. And I hope it's not no battle back comp because, damn it, Cody is the only player in the history of Big Brother. And I'm going to say this. I'm the first ever person to come up with this. Cody is the first ever player in the history of Big Brother in 1 week to become an all-star. Look in the history books. Name someone in 1 week that became an all-star. Cody has done it. He has went against a vet in the first week. He's known 5 people. Everyone in the house is terrified of the guy. Nobody can come at him unless it's a nomination speech. And that's another problem I got with Josh and Christmas Rousey. You know, why are you so fearless when it's a nomination speech? You know, where does all of that courage go when it's just you and you in a room? Now, I know what you're thinking right now, viewers. You're thinking, well, Christmas, she chewed out Cody when blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll give her that. But she didn't have the heart to chew him out and Jessica in the same room, though. You feel me? It's like, come on now. And with Christmas, there's a little entitlement there. She knows she got money. She knows she's playing with house money. Everyone else in that house, for the most part, they actually need the money besides her. And I'd probably say Paul don't really need the money anyway because he just won $50K last year. He just won Candy Crush. Fuck Candy Crush, by the way. That was all bullshit. You know, you should never have a challenge that is in any way similar to something another house guest has already played before he's got in the house. All of that shit was rigged. And let me get into this HOH comp because this has to be the worst cast of all time. I've never seen 10 plus people work so hard to make sure one guy wins HOH. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen it. Big Brother Canada, you'll never see some shit like that. Like, what? Where's the competitive level? Like, what? You don't want no letter from home? Oh, I just want to make jury. I just want to make it. This ain't Survivor. This ain't making the merge. Making jury does not make your ass dateable. Like, these dudes are fucking retarded. But see, this is the mindset of a recruit. They've only seen 1, maybe 2 seasons. So all they really know is jury, good thing. Non-jury, bad thing. So that's all they can shoot for right now because they don't even know what game they're playing while they're playing it. And let me get into Elena because she has a lot of fans right now, and I think it's undeserved. What has she done? What has she done to deserve all these fans? Like, can someone answer that question for me? What has Elena done? Nothing. She's more into Christmas Rousey than she's into Mark. Mark's more into her than he is into Dom. I want Mark to wake the hell up. She's not into you, bro. She's using you, dog. In my opinion, Elena is kind of like I had a comparison of BB15. Elena is like a shorty that was with McCrae. I forgot her name. Okay, she's like shorty who was with Amanda. There we go. She's like Amanda to me. And Dominique to me is more like Helen. Okay, Helen was a better player than Amanda, but Amanda always had that guy on her side, that extra number to initiate that blind side to knock out Helen. Mark my words, Elena is going to be responsible for Dominique going home the same way Amanda just flipped on Helen. It's going to happen the same exact way because when you have a person of color who is very good, not only socially, but in terms of like, puppeteering, marionetting the game behind the scenes, a move within a move within a move. When you have someone like Dominique who's capable of doing that, she has a target going off on her back. But see, she's not winning no comps. So people have to come up with narratives for why they need to target her. And mark my words, that's going to come very soon because Dominique, I hate to say it, she's playing too good. You know, when you're a minority in this game, you almost have to play at the beginning of the game. You almost have to be so trash like Josh is right now to where no one looks at you as a threat and they drag you, or you have to be like middle of the road, kind of like Ramsey's, where people don't really know how you stand. But with Dominique, she's with the majority. So for now, they can't target her because they need her number. But mark my words, out of everyone in that group, she's going to be the first one to go. Because like I told y'all, Christmas, Josh, Raven, and Paul, that's a solid 4. That's an off-the-screen 4 right there. That is a going to the DR, productions convincing all of you to work together 4. That's what that shit is. Bro, I'm telling y'all, that's going to be the final 4. And when it happens, I want y'all to come back to this video and share it. Because Big Brother thinks we're stupid. Why are all of these people trying to help Paul win the HOH if production isn't convincing them it's the best strategy for their game? Come on, man. Like Kevin, what are you doing? You know, it's like, Kevin, bro, I get it. You're trying to lay low. You got the 25K. You accidentally let Paul know about the 25K, which you shouldn't have done. Now, even though Paul might think, oh, well, Kevin kind of trusts me now because he gave me this information. Paul also has dirt on you now, Kevin. And when Paul, whenever he wants to, he's going to be able to convince people to get rid of you. Look, man, none of us could beat Kevin at the end, and he already has 25K. Let's go ahead and get rid of him right now during this double eviction. Mark my words, that shit's going to happen too. And that's going to change a lot of y'all minds on Paul because it feels like right now, Kevin has the highest approval rating in the house. Everyone, for the most part, doesn't dislike him. Like, I don't dislike Kevin, but there's no one in the house I like after Cody goes. Everyone is a sheep. Everybody. But that's my thoughts right now. I feel like right now this game is positioned in a certain way to where, first off, it's not very fair for a guy who can't be nominated and can't be put on the block that can still compete for HOH and veto. That's the neta. That's the neta. That's a cheat code, man. That's like using the Game Shark back in the N64 days, bro. You didn't beat the game legit. So when Paul says, oh, you tried to checkmate me last week, but I make sure I checkmate people. Like, no, bro. Production didn't allow you to get checkmated last week, Paul. You didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. And it's interesting. Paul seems to be the only nigga who can lie about having an advantage, lie about having a temptation. The minute another temptation gets thrown out, he's on a fucking witch hunt. Who has it? Who has it? But he's the nigga who was lying about last week. It's like, come on, Paul. Come on, Paul. Like, Paul is becoming what I feared he would become. Paul, to me, was the perfect Big Brother player in terms of his trajectory. He played as good as he could last season. Now he will only bring down his legacy in this season because now he's only here for the money. He doesn't care if people know who he is no more. He doesn't care about establishing a personality anymore because it's already been done. All he cares about now is winning. And he has that mindset right now. And see, Dan, he had that mindset, but Dan also got to know people on a deeper level. Paul right now, he's a good storyteller. He's able to woo you in and want to be around him because he's socially very savvy. But at the same time, though, the way he's going to have to backstab every single person to get to the end, it's going to be kind of Boston Rob-ish. It's going to be kind of Boston Rob-ish. And I'm talking All-Stars Boston Rob. I'm not talking about later down the road. But I'm just saying it's going to, a lot of Survivor references here. But I'm just saying, though, it's going to happen in that same distinct way. And that's why I'm very sad, because if you guys knew anything about me, like the last video, I said Paul got robbed. This time around, I'm disappointed in his game. I'm disappointed in Josh's game. You know, I wanted them to have an alliance. Now that they kind of sort of do, I'm disgusted by it. Isn't that weird? Like, I think there's a lot of people that agree with me on this, by the way, because I thought Paul and Josh getting together would be more similar to Victor and Paul, like underdog. But the way production is working it, and also let me get into this. Production, you're not slick. You casted Christmas on purpose because you knew she had a 4,000 follower base on Instagram, which guaranteed she'd get the second temptation. And you in the DR was convincing her to work with Paul this whole time, meaning you pretty much rigged it for the first two temptations to go towards Paul's side. No one's talking about this either. Shout outs to Big Brother Gossip, by the way. This is some conspiracy corner shit. Because, hey, you got to be really blind or really biased towards that side of the house to not see it's completely rigged for them at this point. And see, I really like Alex. You know, I don't really like Ramses. Y'all heard my thoughts on that the last episode. See, I'm trying my best not to rehash the same talking points. But with Ramses, I was rooting for him to win this veto. It's funny. I wanted him to be the first boot. But if it has to come down to Ramses winning a veto and taking himself off the block and saving Cody indirectly, I'd rather have that outcome. Because I don't want Paul to get his way. Paul right now is running around on a temper tantrum like a spoiled child. And honestly, the audacity for Paul to call someone sneaky for trying to take themselves off the block because of a curse that was given to them by Paul himself is beyond just out of this world. It's like, bro, how entitled are you? And this is why I can't watch the feeds no more, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do it. I can't sit through it no more. It's sad. And they've given me a free month. So trust me, I can keep watching this right now if I really want to, but there's nothing to watch. We know what's going to happen tonight. We know. Cody's going to go home. They're going to do whatever they can to make sure, because see, all the people that just want to make it a jury, they don't want to win this HOH because they don't want to have to be the one to have to target anyone, because then their alliance mate that survives was going to target them instead of Paul because Paul's still safe. So there's tons of people who's going to go out of their way to throw this shit. If they were smart, they would throw it to the other side and try to get the other side to target Christmas Rousey or Josh. They would try to work that. But right now, the sympathy card is being played too much on that side of the house. You got Raven mentioning her disease every 5 seconds. I'm $200,000 in debt. Oh, I really need the money. You know, she's trying to really, really slide it in there that if you put me on the block, America will hate you. And I think that's working. I think no one is going to target her. It's going to take a double eviction for her to go too. Her and Kevin, in my opinion. And Christmas, she's got the broken leg sympathy card going, where it's like, you're going to put up a woman with one leg. You know, they're going to play that card, you know, and that's what I don't like. I don't like sympathy. This is a game. This isn't real life. Like, this isn't me making you walk to work every day on a broken leg. This is just us competing for money on a broken leg. And Christmas, let's be real. Your ego is keeping you in this game, not your love for the game, because you already admitted you're only here to become an actress. So it's not your love of the game. It's not. So stop that bullshit. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. Her ego is what's not letting her go home. She don't want to be labeled as a quitter. That's what it is. And you know what? I respect that part of her. I respect that she doesn't quit, especially when Megan just quit for nothing. I respect that. I don't want it to come off as me being like, how dare you not quit when you have a broke. I don't want to come off that way. But I'm just saying, though, like, stop making it seem as if you some huge super fan all of a sudden because you have a broken leg and you're still in the house. And let me get into her being able to leave the house twice. I'm hearing a lot of people on Twitter, you guys are acting like she's getting to meet up with her family members, and you're acting like she gets to watch Big Brother from the fucking hospital bed. And no. That's not the problem we have with it, idiot. Our problem with this is the fact that, number one, she's not going to be blindfolded the entire time. And if she's not blindfolded the entire time, then she's allowed access to something that people in the house aren't. That's an advantage automatically. And imagine if she was a have-not. And that's why I want to get into why there's no have-not competitions anymore. I don't think production wants Paul to ever be a have-not. Isn't it pretty convenient that the same HOH that was rigged for Paul to win ends up being the same exact week where Christmas is rigged to get the temptation, which also happens to be the same exact week where some embarrassing fraud costume gets thrown into the fray? Didn't these costumes used to be something that was exclusive to veto competitions? Remember those days? Y'all remember those days, right? Okay, so now all of a sudden, these costumes aren't in the veto competition. They're just a have-not costume. That's bullshit. They did it on purpose. Because if they do it now, while Paul's HOH, he gets to make the people who are his enemies embarrassed, and then production gets to laugh at them, the people who are against Paul. See, this is why you should never go against us. It's really a fear. It's a scare tactic. They're trying to scare all the other house guests. Wow, Cody went against Paul, and now he's in a fucking Frogger uniform hopping around. We'll never go against Paul now. Come on, man. It's all rigged, man. Use your third eye. Use your third eye. And if you really are rooting for that side of the house over the other side of the house, I thought Big Brother fans were the ones who wanted the underdogs to win. At what point was ever Elena, Mark, Matt, Raven, at what point were they ever an underdog in this game? They were part of the majority since day one, people. Since day one. But in turn, you hate Jessica and Cody, who flipped from the majority to the minority? And they didn't really flip, by the way. The majority really flipped on them. So you guys are hating the minority right now and loving the majority who flipped like a bunch of pussies. Let's just keep it real. They were like, we'll follow you to the end of the world, Cody. 3 days later, Paul, we'll follow you to the end of the world. Like, that's what they did. And y'all are applauding them for that gameplay? Come on, man. Come on, man. I'm putting all y'all motherfuckers on blast tonight. There's people saying, kudos to Josh in that veto competition for really telling Cody off. It's like, bro, everyone in this house has talked shit about Josh. At least Cody is alpha male enough to say it to his face like a man. You know, as a grown man, I respect the guy more for telling me how he feels about me to my face. Because that lets me know that not only does that let me know he's real with it, and he's not scared. It also lets me know what type of person he is. Look, I might not agree with his opinion on me, but I know he has an ounce of integrity in his body to actually approach me and say what's on his mind instead of going in the back and gossiping, okay? You guys right now are saying, well, that's great gameplay. You shouldn't blow up your own game by telling someone how you feel. Okay, if that's how you truly feel, that's fine. But don't give Christmas all this credit for going up in Cody's face a week before then. That's where I'm getting to. Y'all motherfuckers be habitually line stepping. 1 minute, you like the minority. Next minute, you like the majority. 1 minute, you like confronting people. The next minute, you don't like it because, oh, it was in bad taste. You guys constantly change your opinions up depending on who the person it is. I just want y'all to be consistent. And this is why I had to cancel the feeds, man. Because this is shambolic. This is shambolic at this point. There is no one in this game right now who I can say, besides Paul, is going to win this game. And that's a shame. So, hey, if there is a battle bet competition, we all know most likely Cody's going to win it because they're going to be a whole bunch of punks and target Ramses next week. And I want to get into this with Paul. Last week on the feeds, matter of fact, it was this week on the feeds. It was earlier this week because Paul was HOH. He specifically said, okay, we can't get rid of Ramses this week because we got to get rid of Cody, but Ramses is too sneaky. So next week, me and Mark are going to go and intimidate Ramses enough so where he can win no challenges and we'll send him out the door. Paul, Ramses is a 21-year-old kid. Now, age-wise, he's a man. But I'm looking back on my life. I'm 26. Was I the same guy when I was 21 that I am now? Absolutely not. Paul, you're 24 years old. Ramses is 21 years old. Are you the same person you were 3 years ago, Paul? Absolutely not. You're not even the same guy you were last season as you are now. Okay? So clearly, time changes people. Why do you need a buff, swole guy like Mark to intimidate a kid like Ramses, Paul? That's not a good look, Paul. And that's not the Paul I remember that I was a fan of last season. That's not the Paul I remember. And that's what saddens me the most. Paul has become a beta male because of all the help production's given him. You know, to me, Cody is Jon Snow. He's standing in front of a whole alliance, a whole army, just running at him with horses and swords. And he got one sword and he ready to scrap. And Paul is the guy on the other side. He's Ramses Bolton. He's got a whole army with him, so he feels so courageous. You know, like, oh, you can't fuck with me. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is. And that's why I'm canceling the feed. So, you know, I think this rant has been successful. I've been able to pretty much get all of my thoughts out there on why I do not like this game. If there was anybody that I left out discussing, I apologize for it. I think I pretty much mentioned everybody. You know, I am a fan of Alex. I don't really like Jason, but hey, you know, anybody on the other side of the house that can change the power dynamic. And by the way, last week, I heard a lot of people saying, I want someone on Paul's side to win HOH because I want the power to shift. I'm like, wait, hold up. When Cody won the HOH, he was on that side. So technically, in order for there to be a power shift, Alex or Jason would have to win it because someone that's not on Cody's side now would have to go. So I was trying to explain that to people, but they're not buying it. They wanted Cody to go so bad. They want Jessica to cry so bad. And it's going to be funny because I'm not watching no more live feeds, but I'm going to check it out live on TV. And it's going to be funny because down the road, you guys are going to have people that you stand for now. And they're going to say a lot of controversial things, the same type of things that you heard from Jess and Cody. And it's going to be up to you to stay consistent and abandon them. But watch what happens. You guys are going to come up with excuses why it's okay for them to say that because someone else said it already. And that's just the type of person, I hate to say it, those are the type of fans you guys have become. You know, you guys have become hypocrites. So, hey, it is what it is, man. The whole purpose of this rant, though, was to open y'all minds a little bit. Realize that you might think your side is popping, but that's only because y'all got Paul with God mode on it. If Paul was not on that side, y'all wouldn't even be this confident. So let's get back to rooting for the underdogs. I hope when Paul's immunity is up, I hope we all come together and pray for him to get backdoored so we can get our game back. And if Paul leaves this game, then maybe I'll get live feeds back. But at this point, the game's over. Game's over. I refuse to watch it no more. So this has been the second rant of Recency Bias Radio. I am your humble host, Dave Smith. It's time to cancel the feeds, and I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Have a great day.